A Socratic seminar is essentially, in the case of my class, a verbal form of a reading quiz. What I generally do is I give students a set of questions, a set of readings that they have a set amount of time to read. They're expected to have them read by the time the Socratic seminar is scheduled. Then, depending on the size, how the Socratic seminar is conducted can vary. Generally, we circle the desks. They have a set of things they're expected to do. They're expected to ask at least one question if they want full credit. They have to respond to one question at least if they want full credit. And they have to actively participate, comment on what each other say, make statements, quote the text. It's basically a show that you understand what you read in a verbal sense. Basically, I got the idea because some students may not be the greatest at a written test, but they're excellent verbal testers. And so this is a good balance between a standard written test and a verbal test. And that's really the reason I started doing them. I am also trying to get students to understand that when you read something, you have to be able to talk about it. You can't just stare at the words. You need to actively understand what you're reading. And so it's twofold. It's also effective because some students may not be the best writers, but they can verbalize their thoughts very eloquently. And so it gives them an opportunity to show off what they can do, how they process information. When they connect what they read with what was mentioned in the lecture or what was mentioned in a film clip we saw, or especially if they can connect it to prior units. I love seeing that because that shows synthesis, which is just putting together things you learned previously and making connections, and that is just wonderful to see. As a whole, it's just a wonderful assignment because it's, for the teacher, it's instantaneous. You know if the students understood it or not. For the students, I think they have a lot of fun because one, you get to talk, and it's very student oriented. You can talk as much as you want, you can talk as little as you want. It will affect your grade if you only talk a little bit, but it's very much student-led.
I actually really like the Socratic Seminars. Like, it's a lot more, I think, like, I get a lot more out of it than just sitting there and listening to a lecture or watching a video. Like, I get to talk and discuss with my classmates, and I retain information a lot better. It's a better way to learn, and I get to, like, personally know my classmates instead of, like, they're just sitting there silent in the back of the classroom. Like, you get to know what their thoughts and opinions on what the topic is. I remember things a lot better that way. Instead of like a PowerPoint, I usually just end up zoning out. Sorry, Miss Bates, but I end up zoning out, or I'll like fall asleep a little bit during a video. So like with me, like actually engaged in the conversation, like taking people, like their opinions seriously and listening to what they have to say to like retaliate back to them, it's a pretty good way to learn. I remember when I was in AP World History and we didn't really do Socratic seminars that much. We maybe did like 2 the whole year, and this year when I'm in AP US History, we do a lot more, and I feel like I'm learning a lot more in that class than I did in previous histories.